Hey everyone, we are now in week 4 and I'm going to go over the slides and the project for this week. So, this project is actually going to take us 2 weeks to complete. This is going to be our first project that we do with a partner, and a lot of what we do will rely on working with another person in addition to working individually on your own. This is also going to be the first time that we are working with words and memorization. So that is why we are going to take 2 full weeks to complete the project. This week will be focused on planning and our dress rehearsals. So the slides are set up like all of the other slides are set up, where there's 3 sections to this project. Part 1 is a journal, and it'll give you some introductory information about the concepts that we are working on. Part 2 will help you to plan what will then be your performance. So because we are working on this for 2 weeks, your performance is going to be your dress rehearsal. So the journal consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slides total. It starts here on the slide that has a script. There's 2 different scripts that you're going to read. And for each of these scripts, you're going to think about what you think might be happening in the scene, who do you imagine to be in the scene, and what their relationship is to each other, and also where you imagine this happening. So you're thinking about what might be happening in these scenes. What you're going to notice with both of these scenes, so this scene here, scene A and scene B, is the lines are very short and very vague. So a lot of what's happening is going to require you imagining and being creative. But there's a reason for that. So after you read the scripts and kind of decide for yourself what you think the scenes are about, you are going to watch these 2 videos, and I will link these videos in the comments as well. And these are examples of these 2 scripts. And so once you read these and you watch the videos, you'll answer questions about the videos. The first question asks you how close you were to the example, and explain whose idea was better, yours or the example. And then the second question asks you to look specifically at the videos and see how the actors are telling the story without paying attention to the words. So, what did they do to change their voice to share with you what emotions they were feeling? How did they show in their actions, in their body language, in their nonverbal communication, that they were feeling the way that they did? How did you know what the scene was about based on the movement that they created? And so those are the things that you're going to list here. The second part of this is the planning sheet. Part of this planning sheet you will do with your partner, and then part of this planning sheet you will do on your own. So if by the time you've seen this video, you haven't had a chance to work with your partner yet, it's really important that we get the 2 of you together, or we come up with a plan for how you are going to complete the planning sheet. The planning sheet has step-by-step. The planning sheet has step-by-step instructions on how to organize and prepare for your scene. There are some definitions here, which we will go over in class, and I also have some supplementary videos to show that talk specifically about these definitions, but I wanted to make sure they were here for you as well. And then finally, the performance. So even though this is a rough draft performance, a dress rehearsal, I still expect you to be memorized for your dress rehearsal. Memorization is a very, very small part of acting. In fact, it's like learning to write essays. Memorizing lines is like learning your alphabet. Everything else after that is what makes the acting happen. So it's super important that you are prioritizing the memorization so that you can then add all of the different elements of acting that we've been talking about in class. So for your rough draft or your dress rehearsal performance, you and your partner will prepare and perform this neutral scene. You will have the option to film your scene if you and your partner have a way to film it that you both agree with. Or we do have time in class where you will perform it live in class. Um, we will talk more about that as the week goes on and make individual choices for each pair. Okay. And then, just to make sure that you film your dress rehearsal or be prepared to perform it in class by Tuesday, September 8th. Your film is due at midnight. And if you are performing, we will start performing in class on Tuesday. Here's the rubric. As usual and as promised, we will go over the rubric together, take a look at what is realistic, and if there's any adjustments that we need to make or additions that we need to make. But you can read it here so you have an idea of how you're going to be graded. And then a checklist. So for this week, journal as always, that's embedded in the slides. Your planning sheet, that is an additional sheet in Google Classroom. And then finally, your dress rehearsal performance. And we will start scheduling performances later on this week. So be thinking about whether or not you are going to film or if you are going to want to perform it live. All right, everyone, happy filming.